Oh, wait, what? How is that possible? No, man. How is that possible? I didn't even. Oh, I messed up, y'all. I messed up. Totally messed up. Totally messed up. Yeah, talk like a joke. Caption unavailable. Alright. Best thing we can do. Hey Celine, what's up, my darling? What's going on in East Portland? What going on Portland, period. You know me there though. Give thanks to life. Give thanks to the Most High, God of Moses, God of Israel, God of Jacob, God of Daniel. Just for being here. Without him, it wouldn't be possible. Without Jesus Christ, our living Savior, none of this would be possible. Alright. I guess I just have to get to it. There's a few things that stood out to me in the press conference earlier today. Dr. Dawes, although calm and collected, was echoing a lot of the things that I was saying. But more importantly, he said things that I never even thought about. Because he's the doctor, he's the professional, right? You know, things that the government can do to help to prevent a leptospirosis breakout in Jamaica. And we don't see the government moving with any urgency. It's almost as if they want a leptospirosis to break out. I am not buying that they don't have the resources to prevent it. I am not buying that. It's how they are managing the resources and the things that they are prioritizing and what they are not prioritizing. And that's why I have been saying that the government is aiding genocide or potential genocide. Because if you don't get the people out of these areas where there's mud, water, rodent, dead carcasses, dead people potentially underwater, the possibilities are terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. You understand? And we see where even the Prime Minister left Jamaica. He's back now, I saw him in Parliament. Left Jamaica and gone to G20 summit. 1 month has passed since this hurricane impacted us. And there's people that are still not seeing an ounce of aid from the government. Not even an ounce. As a matter of fact, I dare say that the majority of people have not seen an ounce of aid from government. Ryan Cam, how you doing? So, I was listening to the speakers in the press conference, the PNP press conference earlier. And the warnings that came from them, I don't think we should take them very, very lightly. I think we should take them very, very seriously. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine on YouTube, won't call their names, reached out to me. Very frustrated. And where they live, in the UK, they're saying that they are wondering what happened to the Jamaican people. As a matter of fact, the individual said to me that they are not even Jamaican. They come from another country in the Caribbean. But they are locked in to what is happening with us. And I won't go into the depths of why they are so connected to Jamaica. Delra, how are you doing? But the individual said to me that the people in the UK or in London are quiet. They are not even talking about what's happening. That's her experience. That's her experience. So before anybody come from London or UK, please calm and slow your roll. Her experience is that based off what is happening in Jamaica, she's not seeing that from the people in London. They are not reacting in an emotionally intelligent way. As a matter of fact, she has come to the conclusion that a lot of the people that is there is either afraid of the government or them are labor right. So when the truths are being spoken by people that are observing the news and what is going on in Jamaica, and she has conversations with them, they get angry. They get angry at her, not at the government. And I'm like, wow. Our people are silent, watching subtle genocide occur, and is not speaking. Going about their life while people are literally in a space where they have no food. And it's one thing, when you just don't care about other countries, which is terrible, by the way. That mentality is terrible. But you would think, even if you are like that about other countries around the world, you would think that when you hear, say, a catastrophe lick your country in Jamaica, you would think, yeah, man, say, you're going to find some type of emotional reaction. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost as if the labor at them overseas don't care about the PMP in Jamaica. That's how it come across to me. Dick Snow, you doing? It's almost as if they don't care. But then again, when I look back at it and I say, look at their leader and look how he operates. They must follow their leader, they must follow Andrew Jones, a wicked and caring individual, a wicked and caring leader. Right? And that's my opinion based off what I've heard and what is being reported. You understand? Let's listen to this.
Attention of the Prime Minister through WhatsApp. He has not responded to. I have been told political representatives of the governing party are being used to distribute government relief, taxpayer funded or donor funded through the government relief in ways which they have no legal or political standing constitutionally to play that role. Elected representatives must be included in things that are happening in their constituency so that they have information, so that their information can be shared with those who are operating on the ground, and you can work together with all stakeholders, including those who are representing the other side of the political fence, to get us the best possible solution in a difficult situation. That is not happening. I have been bringing these incidents, as I hear of them, I have been bringing them to the attention of the Prime Minister through WhatsApp. He has not responded to me at all since last week, Saturday before last, 10 days ago. I have not heard from him in response to any of my messages. So when the Minister of Information says that we have been communicating constantly, that is simply untrue. There has been a total cessation of any communication, certainly coming in my direction, from the Prime Minister. I note that there's a decision that has been taken.
Welcome everybody on TikTok. Welcome everybody on Bolo VNR Clips. Welcome everybody on Bolo VNR 2.0 on YouTube. It's like, where do I begin? Did you hear what the opposition leader said? Sir Mark Jefferson Golding? He has been messaging the Prime Minister, and 10 days now hasn't gotten any response to talk to him about the key issues of what's happening with the relief in the areas. Members that have been voted out and is not a part of the government, that are private citizens, that used to be the MP, are the ones spearheading the distribution of relief. And the distribution of the relief is going into areas that they want to take it to, without any consultation with the elected representative. What is the PMP saying? The PMP is saying very cogently, let's work together. Show some respect. Big up yourself, Winifred. Right? Let's work together. Show some respect to the elected officials and show some respect to the Constitution. Because constitutionally, by law, what they're doing is illegal. I don't think you guys heard me. What they are doing is illegal. It is unconstitutional. Bills Bertha. Beware. What do you mean beware? Beware of what? First time seeing your type. And I don't see you say hello, good evening or good afternoon. Everyone, you just came and said beware. Beware of what? Please explain that comment. Right? So Mark Golding, when Andrew Honest tells us that he's for unity, how are you for unity when you haven't communicated with the opposition leader for 10 days? In a time like this, there should be constant communication. No, Billsbury, I don't know what you're saying. And you cannot tell us that they will know what you're saying. Beware of what? Or beware of who? It's not like you came in here and you've been communicating. Good evening, how you doing, Nick Sweetbone? It's not like you came in here and you've been communicating the whole time. And you just send the first message, just said, beware, guys. All right, good. Have a good day. Keep saying the same thing. And you're not showing any respect for my question. So, have a good day. I'm not taking any slight or disrespect over here from nobody. I asked you what you mean. Explain what you mean. First, I don't know you. beware, guys. They will know. What kind of foolishness is that? Anyway, if Andrew Wallace had any intention, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, man, I realized. Delroy said, Bolo, what I respect about you, even when I don't catch up with you, sometimes I always bless you up every day, bro. You are not afraid to mince. You are not afraid to mince words. Speaking truth, Marky G needs to turn up the fire. I think it's unjust. I think it's unjust. I think it's unjust of us to say that Mark Golden needs to turn up the fire. I really do. And let me tell you why. I believe Mark Golden has been patient, and in terms of giving the government the opportunity to basically demonstrate this unity that they're talking about, that they want to have, and that they're all for. And what has happened is that that unity is not being demonstrated, and they have the evidence. So what did they do? They took the opportunity today to do a press conference to share the evidence of the lack of unity, the total opposite of what they said that they were going to do. And what High Pebbles, High Simple Pebbles, and thank you so much, Neeks. Appreciate you, sweet one. Thank you for hitting the like button, guys. What they have done is articulated and pointed out things that are happening in real time on the ground that is affecting all the citizens in the affected areas. Not just JLP and PNP. No P. Everybody's been affected. Right? While the government and the government ministries and ministers are playing politics by going into these areas and not reaching out to the MP. They started it before Melissa, you know. Remember, you know. Remember that they started disrespecting the PNP MPs before Melissa. Now Melissa happened and nothing has changed. Miss Berries, how you doing, darling? Thank you, boo. Nothing has changed. They have continued the disrespect, but it's one thing to disrespect, you know. But when it's going to cost people literally risking their lives by them not getting aid, food, water, medicine that they really need, a blanket, a tarpaulin, right, to cover their head because they are not they are homeless. I still think we're being unreasonable where Mark Golden is concerned and the PNP. I think we are really being unreasonable. They are not the one in power, and it's like we forget that. The only fire we should be turning up, the people of Jamaica should be turning up the fire. Not Mark Golden. The voice of the people. We are the boss. We are the boss. You understand? The powers, you see, and this is what I was listening, and I'm glad you brought it up, you know, because I was listening to Mystic Sensation, and he said a lot of the criticism that is levied to the PNP, people don't really understand politics. The opposition is limited in their capacity of how they respond in a time like this. The opposition cannot be rebels. The opposition cannot be combative. You know what? Let me tell you, let me give you an example. So the government is wicked, and we know that. The opposition calling out the government being wicked. How is that going to stop them from being wicked? What power does the opposition have now? What I guess I should ask you, what do you mean by turning up the fire? What do you expect them to do? Because some of the things I hear people saying it is way outside of the mandate and merit of the legal things that the opposition can do. And if you talk Jamaica connecting, say opening people's eyes. If you're saying opening people's eyes, well, they have been doing that. Because every time they came to Parliament and spoke on the issue, what happened? The JLP had to act. They have been turning up the fire. All right, they haven't been shouting, but they have been turning up the fire. Hey, Raslin, how you doing? Joanne Sinclair, how you doing? Tissa, how you doing, my darling? Tissa, big up yourself, you know. Thank you for that massive donation that you sent me the other day. Appreciate you. I didn't get to say that because I ended the live and then after I saw the donation. Thank you so much, my darling. Right? So they are limited. Them democratically, legally, they are limited. What is in the best interest of the people of Jamaica? A united government. So if the PNP becomes combative and turn it up as you suggest, how is unity going to work? The PNP has been strategic, my brother. They have been strategic. We, the people, have to be the one that bring the heat. We, the Jamaican, especially the people that are feeling it, especially the people that families are feeling it directly. We, the people, should be turning up the heat. We, the people, should say and demand to the government, take it to the streets. You know, Delroy said, when last have you seen the people taken to the street? Opposition have power, my guess you are not aware of the opposition. Yes, Delroy, I'm aware of the opposition power, but I'm saying to you, we the people shouldn't wait on the opposition to organize and go take it to the street. We need to take it to the street. The people are being lazy. We have to be directly involved in our own liberation and stop waiting on the government or the opposition. That's what I'm telling you. It's like we're looking for somebody to save us. And we are looking to the wrong people and we save. We are Jesus Christ we look to. And still faith without works is dead. So you have to ask God for wisdom and guidance. You understand? I am telling you, the opposition is doing exactly what they're supposed to do. This press conference right here, so, is an eye-opener to the world. The world is watching. How can you have leptospirosis just flaring all away? Where's the, what are you guys doing to stop that? The people have more power. Exactly. The people always have more power. And that's the thing. I don't want the people, Marlene, I am ready as well. I don't want the people to have this mental stance like, yo, I have to wait on them. No, you don't have to wait. We can get up and act tomorrow. You remember when that thing was happening in France and on Facebook and everywhere? You saw the flags with France and everybody was supporting France. So why everybody can't come out at Kingston and support ourselves? Why are the Kingstonians not standing up for the people in Westmoreland? And I don't want to single out the Kingstonians, but it is the capital of Jamaica and it's the city that was not touched by the hurricane. There's two major cities. Why we don't organize in Kingston? And say to the government, we demand an oversight committee that has all the stakeholders, just like the PNP said, because we demand accountability. Where's the water? Where's all the aid? Where's the money? Where is the money, Elaine? How you doing? Where's the money? We the people have to demand that. In COVID, we were quiet. And what did they do? Trample all over us. We didn't stand up for each other. We didn't unite. The people, we the people never united. We allow the government to trample on our rights. Who fought for us? The PMP. How did they do it? Legally. They took it to the courts. Lest we forget. The PMP always have a back, bro. I'm telling you, them always have a back. One of the things that I totally disagree with, and I hear it on some platforms and some of the people that I listen to, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. How do you know what you're doing? Right? One of the things I totally disagree with is the PMP operated just like how the JLP operate. In a baga territory way. Fighting fire with fire. I totally disagree with that. Absolutely disagree with that. As a matter of fact, if we are in a very, very unique time in our country where we don't need to burn down nowhere to get things done, collectively united as a people. We don't need to go and block the road. We don't need to do those things, you know. We don't. On the ear, and you honest tell we say by December robot a come to Jamaica. Now everybody, most people homeless and now no work. The robot them still a come. And why them can't get some robot to come move the debris them from out and all of the tons of debris. We want some robot like them there. Where them robot there? But they want to carry robot to come take with people regular job. Get some robot to come do some job where regular people can't do. How about that? Yeah man, we want some big robot like Optimus Prime for cut sassy love, me get her out the bushes. Like Optimus Prime for come take up the tons of garbage and mud and clean up the place. Yeah man, we want some robot like them there. And I'm telling you, the opposition is doing what they're supposed to do. They are on the ground, they might help them people, they might reach out to them, and they are advocating on their behalf. And they're coming to us and communicating to us and letting us know what really is happening. Constant update. If you follow them, Dwayne Vaz, Miss Perkis, now I understand what is happening, why I don't see her on the social media. They have no connectivity in Hanover, and we learned that today. Digicel and Flow and them and the Starlink and the generators, them no reach them. The government get generator and get Starlink and none no reach Hanover. And Hanover is one of the most affected areas. Make it make sense. I think Hanover have 2 constituencies where run. And the PMP win the 2 of them. No certain people. No 2 part of Hanover. Where are my political astute viewers? Isn't there 2 constituencies that make up Hanover? And it's 2 PMP win. Miss Perkis and Miss Miller Bent or what's your name? Mrs. Bennett Miller, something like so. Miller Bennett, something like that. Heather. Right? 2 constituency. And how convenient the man I talk about he's going to loan. Blossom, how you doing? How he's going to loan these generators. Loan them. Oh, and then I try to come tell me, say, if I didn't make myself clear, I thought everybody understood. The people them don't have any connectivity, no Starlink, no their Hanover. Hanover is desperately in need of urgent care and attention. After a month, I just want you guys to think about that. After a month, there's areas in Hanover that has water rising. And then one area, the water go down and rise in the next area. All of those things there. Listen, I mean, a recipe for an outbreak of leptospirosis and all other things have to do with stagnant water. She said the water is stink. Miss Perkins said the water is stink. But to show you that Andrew Holness is not interested in unity whatsoever, he ghosted Mark Golding for 10 days. What excuse can he come and tell me in a time of catastrophe, emergency? The opposition leader should be at the top of his list in terms of communique. Everybody else come after that if you're really about unity. Why is that? Because all of his delegates communicate with him, and for the most part, the areas that were most badly affected, whether coincidence or not, are mostly PMP, MP, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. Yo, the man is wicked, yo. The man is wicked. All they care about is infrastructure, the building them. And they have neglected the most important resource of the country, the people, the heart and soul of this country. How dare you ghost the opposition leader for 10 days? Oh, and another thing he did, ladies and gentlemen. When he came in his speech and talked about, you know what? I don't want to tell no lies, because I actually don't want TikTok about it. I'm going to put it on my page too. Let me play exactly what I'm saying. Two of the things that were Andrew do with us. Yo, for sure is that this man really doesn't care about unity whatsoever. Like literally he doesn't. See? Check this out.
New Reconstruction Agency, the acronym NARA, National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, I believe, which will have wide powers to ensure that decisions can be taken very quickly when it comes to rebuilding, for example. I know that this is something that the private sector have been agitating for, and I see the need for it. But where you are circumventing normal procedures because the circumstances that we're in require that, it is all the more important that the thing be done in a transparent manner and that all critical stakeholders should be at the table when those decisions are being taken or being reviewed. The Prime Minister, in making that announcement, spoke of a broad-based governance structure for this new authority. I had called for something of that nature right after the hurricane. I wrote him about it. However, I noticed that he, at his press conference when he announced it, he made no mention of the opposition being at the table. I don't know whether that omission was inadvertent or deliberate, but I can tell you that if we want Jamaica to get back on her feet as quickly as possible, if we want to avoid social dislocation, and if we want people to feel that the response is equitable, is well designed, and is without political bias, it is important that critical stakeholders be at the table. And the opposition, with 28 seats in the parliament, and almost the same number of votes in the last election as the government, should be part of that process. We are willing to serve, but we are currently being excluded. All of the committees that have been established under the cabinet, including the private sector committees and so on, the opposition is not present on any of those committees.
So, Andrew Holness, right after the storm, ladies and gentlemen, right after the storm, Mr. Golding spoke about a broad-based approach. Specifically. And then Andrew Holness came with the argument and he gave him no credit. He never said. The opposition leader wrote to me about a broad-based approach. And he could have even said this was something that I myself was thinking about. Seeing as we want to move forward in unity, I agree with the opposition leader that this is really the proper approach to show our people that truly we are doing this as a team, as one. And in a time like this, when our country has been so devastated, people are homeless, we are truly going to need all hands on deck. This is something that we, the government, cannot do alone. Humble themselves, and give credit. He's not capable. He's not capable. You know what he does well? Is take away or try to take away credit from people. And Andrew Honest is the epiphany of tearing down something else to build up himself. Perfect example, his entire campaign was trying to tear down and tell lies on the People's National Party where their history politically is concerned. Oh, and he was successful because you guys fell for the trick. Fell for the trick so much that you have given him 3 terms of destroying this country. Well, 3rd term is still loading, and the way how God move right now, prophetically, there really isn't a 3rd term. It's a Pyrrhic victory. Andrew Honest is I think he's regretting that he won the election right now. The amount of pressure and stress that he shall come under from all angles, the hand of God has raised against him. You can clearly see it. The man saw it, man. Jimmy Cliff dead. Both sitting bun down. I mean, the man got a match and the man they lose. Like, brother, you saw it, brother. The man bring down a piece of salt this from Jamaica, man. I tell you. Zine, now, I want to show you, say, the PNP really is not trying to be combative. Because if you listen to Mark Golden a while ago, you hear him say, I don't know if it was deliberate or, because they listen, Mark Golden could have said, it appears that this is deliberate. The PNP is making a concerted effort, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Orange me say not win a thief them thief it. But him sad, what me I say? Mark Golden and the PNP is making a concerted effort not to be like at this time like we are go against. No. Is we are here. See us. We can help. Allow us. That is the conversation, The way our Andrew Honest government is so full of what. The PNP has to be begging them to be included. Why is that? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the resources them get thief up. The resources them there are people yard. We are PNP, we are JLP activists. And an issue to JLP people in my own. Me not even want to talk about what me hear about in my community, we are JLP community. Me not even talk about what me hear coming from a JLP somebody. Die hearted. Me not even talk about that, then I left it alone. All I can say is everything that is being reported by the PNP when it comes on to them giving only JLP people stuff are true. It is true. Them still are play politics. And them wicked. They are doing it.
To look at how we are doing these things at Eastern, Westmoreland, and Bluefields, the entire stretch coming to Ferris looks this distribution that we are seeing so far. And I spoke of it in Parliament a couple of weeks ago.
Listen to this.
When helicopter went down in Landale and the members of the government in the era were called on to come because they were on spot before everybody else. I spoke of it, the Prime Minister dismissed what I said, but what I said was repeated twice since he spoke. And the most recent occurrence was this week when at an activist, a known JLP activist premises, that was where the distribution was done. And we have to look at how we are doing these things. I don't know who came up with that idea, who thought this would look like a good idea to have the food packages being distributed from that location But it was obviously a terrible idea. And
so it is confirmed that Dwayne Vall's constituency, the JLP, send relief down there and send it to a specific location. And that location is the house of a JLP activist in the area. And that is where the aid was being given out. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell me, say, Andrew Owen's government has any is serious about unity. Let me tell you something. You remember that day when he was in Parliament? Who was there? The international press. You remember? That was all for show, ladies and gentlemen. That was all for show. And he's gonna come again. Look out for your press conference, you know. He's gonna come again and say some foolishness. And the reality is gonna continue to be what we said it was. Or what we say it is. They are still playing politics with the relief aid. When that man said on the video, no send no relief to Andrew because we're not gonna get it. You know, remember when the weather parties with the buckle, it something water upon the head upon the foreign media, I think the name uwti.com. See if we can find them. uwti.com. Let's see if we can find it. Let me Google it. UWITI. It's a media house. I go find them still. So this is the reality. Let's go to Dr. Dayton.
Going into a community is not sufficient because they won't know the lay of the land, they won't know the residents, and that's including GEM Foundation, including
everything where Andrew Owen's touch a poison. I don't know how the man do it. I really don't know how him do it. Oh, everything him touch a poison. The man go at the ODPEM, remove the man that was there, put in one soldier, and then if you use the same man we remove to actually be like a council for the soldier. And the soldier don't know one thing whatever do. Now the aid is being put out there. See, Dr. Dayton Campbell talk about here, so listen to this.
GEM Foundation, Samaritan's Purse, World Central Kitchen, Mercy Chefs. Had it not been for some of these groups, I don't know what would have happened to the residents of Eastern Westmoreland, because they have stepped in a big way to ensure that some of the things that are needed have been done thus far. We benefited from a visit of some of the CARICOM leaders, and President Ali out of Guyana committed to doing 200 roofs.
Dana, how you doing?
For some of the active. When the JDF and Ministry of Labour and ODPEM called the meeting, they said they wanted to welcome the 2 members of Parliament, in which the government is inserting their political operatives in the response mechanism. And
imagine that. An effort that is for Eastern Westmoreland, is persons that lost the election are members of the current government is the one that is spearheading it. Without the inclusion of Dr. Dayton Campbell. And they say they want unity. Ladies and gentlemen, what Andrew Owen wants is to be left alone so they can do whatever they want to do, which is nothing good and which does not benefit the people of Jamaica. It benefits themselves and them pocket. You understand? And this is why we see the exclusion of the PMP. This is why we see the exclusion of the NGOs and every other stakeholder. But you know, I want you guys to pay attention to something. Because a lot of things come to me, you know. And I don't record everything. But I want to say this. Have you guys seen any of the politicians them from the JLP put their money together, not our tax dollars, for their money where we pay them? Have you seen any of them put their money together and said, you know what, let's see if we can fix or repair or rebuild as much houses as possible? Let's see if we can adopt a family from Westmoreland, adopt 2 family, adopt 3 family. All of the persons, especially Ben Spunani, will get $85 million worth of food tax dollars. Have we seen Ben Spunani give back to anybody in aid? I ask you. You know Ben Spunani, right? Dr. Tufton? Yeah, man. Theme Ben Spunani. Have you seen his Ben Spunani give back any of the money to the victims? Has she done anything? The people that may benefit from being friends with Dr. Vaz and his wife, have they done anything? The rich people that me are talking about, we get government contracts because they're a friend with certain people in our government and they know them and they're a family too. Have they done anything? Have they taken money out of their own pocket? I mean, not talk about $1 million or $2 million. Them stinking rich. And our tax dollars, them stinking rich offer. Have they done anything? I not even want to talk about Rodercraft. We don't talk about she already. I said what I said and I've moved on. We see her for who she is now. I never really had much to say about her, but I see her for who she is now. You understand? Have you guys seen them? I'm not singling out Ben Spunani, you know. Adi say start the show, don't Adi have to make sure you join the WhatsApp channel, bro. Join the WhatsApp channel. You understand? Link me on WhatsApp and join the WhatsApp channel. So anytime I go live and I drop a video, you can just know, say, alright, I'm live. So you're not missing 46 minutes past, you just are reaching. Like and share up the video, guys. Ben Spunani, I want to know if Ben Spunani buy no container house, send no food or water in Westmoreland, down at St. James, Hanover, Trelawney, St. Elizabeth, Portland, all over Jamaica. I want to know if these people, the WhatsApp number is 876-451-6535. I really want to know if they have given back anything. All of the people them will get government contracts. One of them we get favorable government contracts. Where one of them? What has Andrew Honest done personally? What has he done? 876-451-6535. What has Andrew Honest done personally? Andrew Honest get things from all over the country and decide say, all over the world and decide say, him not giving it to the people him, or him taking time, him a hold on upon it. Where is the tents? Where the tent them there with the Japanese them send down here? Where the tent them there? People still down in Westmoreland and them place that live under the sky. Oh, Andrew, don't think we forget, you know. How much money it costs if we got 2020 G20 summit? We need to know. We need to know. And what did you get from the 2020 summit? What you come back with? You come back with a trade deal? You come back with a solid plan of secure or food security? Right now, food security and national security they're on the same level, you know, in terms of importance, you know. With water quality, you know, right up there, so too, you know. Water supply and quality, you know, they're right up there, you know, with national security and food security, you know. Andrew, where you come back with for your trip? Out of $28 million a year we are get from the government, from we the people. What you do with that 28 million there? This month, 1 month pass, you must get paid. How much you take out that 28 million? For help nobody down Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth. Where's the money? These are all questions. Some would like to know. But the soldier them now are going at the area them without the MP. And it's an action in futility. What is happening is that people at the front is getting food, but people when they run at the back in the rural areas, deep down, we can't reach the central point, not getting no aid. That is what is happening, you know. So when Andrew Honest come and he told us that we will be able to reach the people immediately after the storm. Immediately after the storm, you know. Tony Flex said, you better find all the money. Well, me I wait for our next comment in the car. You must be joking. You must be joking. Me if you find all that money, may I get paid $28 million a year? Do you know how much millions of dollars that is per month? Do the maths. 2 point something million. Do the maths. What Andrew do with the money? Has he done anything for the Jamaican people? Out of his own pocket?
Bypassing, circumventing the elected officials. I represent all of the constituents of Eastern Westmoreland. I have absolutely no interest in how they voted. This is a humanitarian crisis. It is not a political matter. And as elected officials, we have to be involved and consulted in the process because we know the communities, we know the areas, we know the people. Even in relation to the distribution of aid, to just have the chief alone going into a community is not sufficient because they won't know the lay of the land, they won't know the residents, and as such, that has left a lot of gaps. So I want to point out specifically shelter. The shelter in the constituency, they have been inappropriate from the beginning and they continue to be inappropriate. There isn't a bed or a cot or anything in any of the shelters. To be frank, there are persons that are not even aware that some of the shelters are still open with over 20 persons in each one of them. And that means if you're not aware, you couldn't possibly be making any provisions for the residents within those shelters. The persons who are in the shelters...
You hear that? Man, them even aware that some of my shelter they're still active. Jesus. Oh my God. I have to take the time, you know, because I don't know about you, but this affect me, you know. I don't know about you guys, but this is truly affecting me. there is shelters that is operating that were already unequipped. No resources, no bed, no medical supply, no food, no nothing. Obviously, in Eastern Westmoreland, almost everybody has lost their house. Or too many has lost their house. So these shelters have people, 20 plus people, you know. And what he's saying is that the relevant authorities, like the same JDF money we are going to the community to them, they don't even know that those shelters have people in them. So they don't even reach them with any aid. Jesus. Father God, please. We need you. We need you. We need you. Can't do it without you. Can't do it without you. Can't do it without you. We pray say people and just repent and just give it all to Jesus, because I'm telling you, the level of wickedness will come from this government. Imagine the people them there in a shelter. The shelter is supposed to be that place. You understand? Them go there for help, and the help is not reaching them because of a lack of coordination, a lack of communication. Because the man play politics, brother. And then you have some little lab rats that come from man page and I run off their mouth. Yo, as on a raise up on the head, virtually me I chop it off. As on a raise up on the head in my comment section. Cut. We not tolerate no heartless, brother. You think of PMP alone in a them the place there I suffer, people that they are suffer, brother. You understand? People that they hungry. Last night me I watch Marvin and I tell you say tears come on my eye. Tears come on my eye, brother. Man have to turn back and reach a yard, and the man have to turn back to go buy food to give one family. They don't have nothing, they don't have water. After 1 month, the government still not reach people them, bro. And people are going to tell me about government to do a good job and what you want the government to do. You're not going to suffer, you know? You're not going to suffer, man, I tell you. Not going to normally sufferation when I reach you. People like you are so heartless. You're not going to suffer, bro. Believe when I tell you so, you're not going to suffer. Whatever has been handed to these people, yeah, they might have wicked, yeah, they might have faced their judgment, but they still have an opportunity to repent. But for you to be so heartless to them, you're not going to suffer, bro. You're not going to suffer, you hear me telling you? All I want to do in the comment section, and I run off on the mouth, and I just defend on the God, on the bro God. Whole on not going to suffer. If you not turn from one ways, you're not going to suffer. Believe. Tell me.
Obviously, the most vulnerable, they don't have anywhere to stay, they don't have any relatives to stay with, and that's the reason why they're at the shelter. And I realized that the Ministry of Education has also taken on an initiative to reopen schools as soon as possible, which I support because we want to decrease the learning loss. But in moving the persons from these shelters, majority of which are schools, so that school can reopen, certainly we can't just move them without making provision for them to stay elsewhere. In terms of emergency evacuation and shelter, housing of these persons, we have not seen any of those tents that are supposed to be in the country that should be made available. I'm told that it was said in the Senate on Friday that tents went to Dayton Campbell, unless there is another Dayton Campbell that represents somewhere in Jamaica. It's certainly not this one. I have not been made aware of any text. And I want to be on the record as saying I will never support moving out the persons out of the shelter unless we make provision for them. I will block it myself personally. That is inhumane, and we have to do better. So yes, we want the schools to open, but we must make adequate provision before we move the persons up out of the shelters.
Want to hear that? Yo, the level of evil with this government is unbelievable. Like, yo, this is not even. This is not incompetence. I am past the government saying them incompetent. This is not incompetence. This is beyond. This is wickedness. This is evil. This is subtle genocide. This is aiding genocide. Subtle genocide. Yes, you want the children to start back school. How about we evacuate the people them and get the children in a learning environment, one comfortable environment with them parents so they can learn. You think the picnic they can open up back school in them the area there, and it's not going to affect the children them? In what world them think that happen? Furthermore, what are you going to do with the people them that is living there because them don't have a home? Them not have picnic too. So alright, so hold on. People there with them picnic in the shelter. So you go push them out without putting them somewhere, open back school, and then the parents supposed to send them picnic from whatever spot of homelessness them there to school to come back to homelessness. You know what a wicked government than this? You know what evil? Hey, them people are wicked enough. Them are people are wicked beyond belief. Don't want to think about that for a second. People in the shelter them, homeless, them picking there with them. So you're going to start school, so you're going to take them out of the school to start school. You don't provide no way for them. So whatever them did they catch under one tarpaulin or under one zinc or something, them and them picnic for going to go catch under it. And then they send them picnic to the same school in that condition for go to school to learn. Let me tell you something, man. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Jamaica, if we not stand up, we say if them push out one family or one person out of no school, if we start no school for them they outside homeless. Me not need two enough. One smaddy. If we hear about one smaddy, the entire Jamaica will stop and pause. Nobody not gonna work. You hear me say? Nobody not gonna work. You think I one way to skin a cat? Just shut down the entire country. Nobody goes to work. Jamaica, if you not serious, I want to know, man. The whole government have to bow down. Man can't wicked so. Me say if you not serious, you don't have to light on fire, you don't have to harm nobody. Sit down in your house and don't move. Me talk about the people who have a house, you know, and the people who still have food to eat, you know. You don't have to care about the other people because what is happening to them, it could have been you. It could have been me. It's because I understand that. And that's why I care and I am very upset about what is going on. I could have been one of those persons who lost my house and don't have nobody to turn to and looking for people to help. Don't have a dollar in my pocket. Don't know which way to turn, mentally just frazzled. Totally discombobulated. Yo, Marvin son, him carry the food, go get the man and the wife. Yo, the man a ball, the man could have seen tears in his eye, brother. The man couldn't hold the dog. As a man, provide for your family and if you come down to zero, where next man, heart, clean if you can help you. You understand what I say, bro? And the man never talk about say, yo, big up Dr. Dayton Campbell, hear what the man say. No boy, no boy can't take out nobody out of the school over here, so. No shelter, if you start to work. If you don't know someone, if you put them on a go where me a black that. Big up Dr. Dayton Campbell. Big up Dr. Dayton Campbell. What a wicked and uncaring government. What a evil set of people. You know how long me I tell you say the things that when my man do is indefensible. There's no excuses. None. No excuses. And then I'm going to come to a press conference and say some fancy things like, yes, you know, we understand that just because PMP come say something, no. And just because everybody I talk about it. Because all they care about is the optics and how it look. Yeah, man, you know, say this look too bad. But if we go find one next way, if we suffer people, them, so them dead for hungry. But them can't see it. I would trace you and look. I mean, even when I watch you comment them, you know. Of course, I deliberate wickedness. Let me find that smarty there. And see what they must say. Because germs them ever come on the blouse and skirt channel, you know. Pebbles, and what she say? I look like when I mute them, you comment gone and then get black. I don't see it. I don't see that smarty in a Tracy or however their name. I don't see them. Deliberate wickedness, bro. When Andrew Honest come out the first day, oh, you know, there was nowhere to land in Westmoreland. Really? Really? Black them, yes? But don't tell my moderator if you do, you know. All junker, come off of my blurt now channel. Me don't need no support. Wanna go away. Anybody who support that government and what them a do, wanna go away. If me know in a real life, I wanna support the government that do suffer people them, wanna leave me alone. Block me number, don't call me, wanna see me not heal me. Straight up like that. Me don't have nothing to do with you. Because this is just straight wickedness. No, it's not about enemy. I don't want people like that in my circle. That don't care about people. That only see color and see orange and see. Yo, listen to me. All the people them we are PMP. We are Rush Zulika Jess. And I rush Miss Perkis. And I rush Miss Miller Bennett. And I rush any PMP councillor or MP. Because them I help everybody, not just JPMP alone. Uno not deal with me, uno not have to support me, uno leave me alone. Me no want to have nothing to do with uno. Straight like that. PMP or JLP, me no business. If you don't have that mind, you need to repent, bro. Cleanse on the soul and nastiness you have in now. Straight like that. Me no business at who. You don't have to. I wish idiot this. Come off of my page, you drunk up germs. Move. YouTube block your comment anyway. Get away, man. No need a support. Stink like. What I'm doing, man? What I'm doing? Me say anybody at all, PMP or JLP, if you not mumble over the elected representatives doing their job for everybody in this time of crisis and not giving favor to who vote for them, I don't need no support. No, come off of my page. Come off of my page. Repent, man. Repent. God talks about taking ourselves from among them. Me I tell you, me don't want them around them, me don't want them have nothing to do with me. You understand? I don't want them around me, man. You can't so evil, man, and wicked, man. Eh? Oh, you have to push out the people them out of the shelter. You know, Mr. Dr. Alfred Dawes call it? Reverse. Why you call it? Let me play a video. What you call it? Listen to this.
PMP just had a press conference and there was so many things to unpack from that. And I'm going to do a series of short videos to highlight key points of this. Listen to this question from Colin Dell from Poland Spice TV. Listen to this and listen to the response of Dr. Alfred Dawes.
Dr. Dawes, before you go, do you think it would assist if the government, you used the word a while ago, but evacuate people who are our most vulnerable, the elderly, young babies, mothers with young babies who are living in these conditions? And would an evacuation like that also assist in preventing more outbreaks?
Yes and yes. Unfortunately, we are doing reverse evacuation where we're pushing people out of shelters to go back to the conditions that I spoke about. And in no century has anyone faced with an outbreak put people into harm's way if they say that they are a civilized society. We have to do better. We have to do better.
Reverse evacuation. Reverse evacuation. The man them put the people back in the conditions from whence they came. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to forget, the group, what them name? United Cajun Official. You remember that group there? A group of old Navy men and women, former Navy SEAL, a whole organization of them, Then go around the world after storms and so, for do what? For help and aid the country them, rescue mission and stuff like that. According to what I have heard, the man them come down and they said to the government, say, listen, we have all the equipment necessary to get people from all of the areas them were maroon. All we need is your approval to get it here. So what kind of excuse me for get Andrew Jonas and the government? It is said that Andrew said them good. And you know why I believe? I'm going to tell you why I believe. Will Rattigan. I have the story on my platform. Last year I did the video. And I was shocked. You know how drugs and them stuff there are coming to Jamaica from the ocean? There was a company. As a matter of fact, this is how it went. The Jamaican government went to the United States and said, how can you help? They recommended this company. The company come and said, assess the situation and said, listen, here's the deal. This is what we're going to do for you. We can take care of that. All those situations on the ocean and all the drugs and everything coming in. All you have to do, write to them, reach out to them, with an answer, All you have to do, you don't even have to pay us. This is how you're going to pay us. Everybody that comes down on a flight, you're going to add $2 or $5 to them flight, and that $2 or $5 is going to pay our organization for the work that we do on the waters. And Jonas was reached out to. Him tell the man himself to reach out to the Minister of Security. When you hear me say? The man they reach out to the man they don't reply to the man for days. All know them they get the answer. You know what that mean? Service not used. So, when they see the man might get a deal like that, we're not going to cost the government no money. More than for add $5 or $2 on some flight. And the man them don't take the deal to secure our borders from drugs and guns. it don't surprise me when a team of military men come down here and say, former military, and they are an organization. You can go look them up and search for them to make sure so they're legit. And also they're legit. And then say, all right, when you come in, we need all the help we can get. When you work with the JCF, bring in the equipment. Right now, people still maroon and they don't go to them all now. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something, man. When you think it's a joke or a serious thing going on Jamaica, you know? Me hear Miss Perky say people have to walk, you know. Them not have no road that them live, you know. Them have to walk through paths, you know. For meat road, you know. For God clinic, you know. Clinic, no road, no there for where them live. I walk, you have to walk, go up there. No road. And the people, them have people out there were sick in them area there and need medical attention. And over all, now the government not reach down there. Hanover has been totally neglected after 1 month. Well, $1.5 million can do before a storm and $1.5 million afterwards. If it wasn't for the good men and women that was touched by the Almighty God to reach out to the people them in them area to help them, I'm telling you, you see the bodies will be piling up, ladies and gentlemen. The bodies will be piling up. People have been dying for hunger. If we were to depend on the government 80% as a response to the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, the death toll would have risen significantly. You check it. I ask any one of the MP them, I see them say a lie. Dr. Nathan Campbell alluded to it a while ago. The man say, yo, if it wasn't for the private people them and the private this and private that and the donors all over the world, I don't know what would have happened to these people. To always small and get damaged, not even drunk on the down little blows and scream. Can you imagine? Not even drunk. Till the reporter here say, yo, can we get some drunkards in the area? We have dead carcasses and dead to do the cleanup. You know, so they are scavengers. This is their job. I mean, the man, they make a situation that it is bad enough, but they have made it extremely, horrifically worse because of a lack of speedy action, dragging their feet, acting like it's business as usual, taking their time like this is not an emergency. But as in the days of Pharaoh, man, we all know what happened to Pharaoh, you know? But we know what happened to the people in terms of sufferation before it happened to Pharaoh. So this is the process we're going through because the government refuses to listen to God. And well, God, yeah, listen to God because his servants have been speaking. 3 days of fasting and prayer, mourning and repentance. From in the pandemic, them are asked for it. All know. This government has denied the voice of God from that time till now. So what we think is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to be peace and safety? No. Sudden destruction, sadness, everything bad happened to Jamaica right now. Because the government refused to listen to God and the people too. We have a responsibility as well. But if the head of the stream is corrupt,
we have in looking at how we respond to the housing crisis. There are still persons that are on the top of this.
First, start off by thanking the charitable organizations that have come on board and have played a role in this hurricane. They have done more than the government. And I'm ashamed to say that
hey, Ian Hales was so frank. Straight through the door. Ian Hales said, you know, just thank you to the private donations. They have done more than the government, and I'm saddened to say that, but it is true. How can you allow that to happen as the government? Isn't the government supposed to take charge? And then we got so much help that was received by the government, and it's still not being disseminated in a proper manner because they refuse to coordinate with all stakeholders.
I represent a constituency in Westmoreland that we're a part of the government, we're a part of the country, and at the same time, private sector, private individuals, charitable organizations have done more than the government of the land. 1 month, it's almost a month, I think today is a month that we went through the hurricane. 4 weeks from now, it is Christmas. I have over 1,000 homes that have been lost, gone, and probably around 5,000 to 6,000 other citizens that the Hurricane Melissa have affected. And I ask myself the question every day as a member of parliament, and I know my colleagues do also, when we get up in the morning. How are you going to help all of these 6,000 to 7,000, 10,000 Jamaicans that have been affected? And in terms of the assessment that is going on, I called last week, I spoke to an individual, I spoke to the manager, and I asked a question. I said, are there any assessment that is taking place in Western Westmoreland? And the answer is yes, they went to 2 areas. And I said, tell me the 2 areas that you went to, and he listed the 2 areas. And those 2 areas were not the 2 areas that were basically the areas that were damaged beyond recognition. And I see where the assessment now that is taking place in communities that didn't, that basically supported the Jamaica Labour Party.
People want to hear that? In a Ian Hills constituency, the man them go do assessment of the areas. And one of the areas, 2 areas, and 2 areas that them assess, they were not affected badly. As a matter of fact, they were JLP areas. So they're assessing damage to only JLP areas in that constituency. Yo, remember asking you something? And I labor right there, I talk to. I not talk to no sensible somebody. And I not talk to no PMP. I talk to you labor right there. Nobody will sensible to answer this. Labor rights. Wouldn't it be logical that you, when I let me just use one simple logical argument. If you have a car and the car break down, right, or one of the tire bursts, so the right tire, right front tire bursts, do you go to the back left tire to check the back left tire to fix it? Do you go to the back right tire to fix it? Do you go to the back the front left tire to fix it? No. You go to the front right tire where the tire bust. So that was a rhetorical question. Some don't want to go like you don't want. You can't defend this. This is indefensible. This is indefensible. How do you go to the areas that are not affected badly or at all and pass over the areas that are affected Oh, because we don't have something on the map. The government have something on the map. When them look on the map, them see orange right there, so them say, alright, you know, we're not going to this because this is orange. You know, so we're not go over this up on the west side card, right? So we know say all of this are orange. So we're not going to this. It's like them have a map like that. Right them or redeem, big up. Them have a map like that and then say, alright, yeah, we're not going there so because this are orange. Yo, me say for the wicked one more time, man. For the wickedness overflow in abundance. I don't support no party will do that. If the PMP do it, me not support them. I am not supporting them. You can't tell her that straight. Ain't no way. Curiosity kid, big up. Ain't no way. Can you imagine that, guys? The man them go at 2 JLP here, go assess the place with damages. And I go to the PMP here, them omit the PMP here, them. Can you guys imagine that? My yo, the man them have want to us.
All I'm saying is we can't do things so ad hoc.
Mighty God.
We are all in this together. Both PNP, JLP, non-P. We are in this together as a country. And, you know, I want to get back to the assessment though, because the assessment leaves a lot of questions. It is said that you have that are volunteering to do the assessment across the constituencies. I've asked the question, who are these volunteers? What are the criteria / requirement for each volunteer? So that even if we can put some individuals, civil society, church, and individuals, put them forward so that they can help in terms of speeding up the assessment. Look, I just think if we don't put back some of these Jamaicans, even give them a roof over their head between now and Christmas, we're going to face some headwinds in this country that we have never faced before. And why do I say that? To every home you go to in the country, people, there's a level of frustration that I've never seen before. People have lost everything. And the frustration is, when are we going to get some help? You can't look at me as a member of parliament and say, you know what, pick 100 of your citizens. And when you pick the 100 citizens, what about the rest? That going to turn against me as member of parliament. What about those individuals? Because they need help too. How do you go ahead and pick the 100 to give 100,000? For me, I'm doing mine a little different. I'm giving each church one individual within that community that has been severely affected. I don't look at this thing as political PNP, JLP. So the church is going to get involved along with myself in terms of ensuring that
this is just a lot, like, it's so much, me have to really wonder if me hear right. I have to play that again. Yo, hold on. No, seriously.
I say that. To every home you go to in the country, people, there's a level of frustration.
So, the man said, if the people, if the government not do something for people, you know, by Christmas, hey, a hungry man is a hungry man, you know. That's all me I say. Hungry man is a hungry man. I don't think it's wise. I think the government needs to be moving with a high rate of speed. Put these men to work that are in these areas. I said it before. You understand? Some of them could have done a 2-week training while getting some type of stipend, food and shelter, right? Whatever area they need to be fast-tracked in training and qualification, that is going to aid a massive recovery process. And this is another idea I just got. This is another idea I just got to add on to the ideas that I've thought about before, right? So, the young men in the areas, them are women that want to work. and are willing to work and are willing to get training, the government could take them, house them, while training, still give them a little stipend, see them, you know, them have their family. Right? As soon as training done, and basically, you have to make sure, say, you feel the need of the skill set and training that you need. So you need some people to clean drain. Or you need some carpenter. I don't know the different skill sets, but say they need training. So they need safety training. They can get that in a 2 week or a week. So they know how to prevent themselves from or try to prevent from getting leptospirosis while cleaning the drain. Educate them about how that is caught so they can protect themselves. Give them the proper protective gear so they can always use it to protect themselves, instead of having regular citizens who don't have the knowledge about the thing and clean out the mud them out of the area them, and then we hear so the people them get leptospirosis and die. Brethren, this just look like one whole big nightmare. And it almost about to reach a pinnacle because of a lack of action. That's what I'm saying, Maxwell. Give those same people in the area the job to clean up, but you have to train them properly first, and equipment with the right tools and supervision and management, proper management and supervision, and just start. Yeah, we know that where you're gonna put the stuff is something them have to think about, but you guys have to think faster. You have to think faster. Where you're going to dispose the thing, you have to think faster and identify. You don't have to drone them and everything, map out the place and find somewhere we only can put all of this debris, if I even temporarily, and clean up those areas. And then you have to think about the long term. How are you going to dispose of the debris in a manner where that area where you carry that don't come one area where pile up of rats and them something there. It's a lot of work to do, you know. So the government need to get it done and pay the people them train, get the people them qualified so they can be a part of that process, because all the money it's gonna take, that money needs to go back into the community. At least a majority of them. Put them to work. Put them to work. Swiss, how you doing? Right? Put them to work, man. But I'm telling you, it is gonna be hell to pay, boy. It's gonna be hell to pay.
That up and down. Make me just stop all this foolishness now. You can't come in my constituent. And when you come in the constituencies, when you leave, you're going to tell me. Or when you reach, you're going to tell me. And then you're going to say, you know what? I'll leave 25 bags of food around the corner for you. It can't continue, sir. And then you go and look at me now. And when I ask you the question, when I ask you, the 2 areas that you assess, how you assess those 2 areas? What are the criteria? What are the strategy? And then you turn to me and then you say to me, you know what? We have 2 staff members who live in those areas. Where is the strategy? How are we going to deal with all that? I don't even think the government know what's going on. It's clear that the government didn't plan for this. They didn't plan for it. And I want every PNP and every JLP, every like-minded Jamaica, where you get in your car every week and you drive down, come a country. I want you to sit down and ask yourself the question, where is the government? What has the government done? I mean, I'm thankful that they said to me I can clean some of my roads, but some of the roads across the other 2 constituencies are not cleared as yet. And how can you say to a foreigner to do more than you as the government here, where the people elect and vote for and put in? And pay taxes. And me have to come here now at the press conference and I beg the government to come and board to play a role with us. The caretaker is not the MP. Nobody elected the caretaker. He's a private citizen. Nobody elected him or her. But it seems like the election is still going on. enough is enough, man. It's time this foolishness cut out.
Let me tell you something, man. Big up Ian Eels. Big up Ian Eels. How can you look at the overseas people and ask them to do more when you, the elected official that have all the resources? Andrew Ole should be ashamed of himself, but he has no shame. The man has no shame, ladies and gentlemen. He is a shameless coot. Mighty God. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a minute. You, the elected official, getting paid handsomely, I might add, 2 to 30% increase for some of you. And you are going to look to the diaspora and tell them that do more for us, man. You know where God help? God help those who help themselves. But Andrew Ole is asking everybody else to help while not helping the people when them send the help. Or not helping the people enough. Lorna, what's up? This is the predicament we have found ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, in Jamaica. This is it. This is the leadership, or the lack thereof.
Were affected. And to date, as you've heard, we've gotten $1.5 million prior to hurricane and another 1.5 to assist the residents of Western Hanover. What can that do? That's a drop in the bucket. If it weren't for donors, dog nyamusapo in Western Hanover. As an elected representative, it hurts when you have a limited number of package and you have to decide which community you go to next, when you have so many communities that are affected. I'm particularly concerned about the assessment process that is being done by the Ministry of Labor. What we're finding happening is that the Ministry of Labor is unable to tell us how many homes they've assessed. They're unable to tell us how many communities they've gone in. What you're finding is that they don't know. They're able to say that Hanover has 4,388 persons that they have assessed. But in my constituency alone, I can tell you, we have far exceeded that number. So this hodgepodge, patchy way of doing the assessment is unacceptable. This slow pace way of going about the assessment is not benefiting our residents. So while they take their time in assessing, people are suffering. People are in need. Persons are outside, they're living in their cars. They're living on the streets. They're cutting with family members. They're cutting with friends. They don't know where else to go. And so this hodgepodge way of assessing, it's not the way to go. And so I'm urging the government to engage agencies that know about data collection, like Statin, who they already have the resources, SDC, to assist them in going out to do these assessments. I am particularly concerned as well about our schools. Many of our schools were used as shelters, many still not repaired. We have started back school, and yes, we need children to be in schools, and we need them back in schools urgently. But putting them in unsafe environment is not acceptable. Students are back in schools, but we don't see the school bus system back up.
Yo, that what you just touched on a while ago is incredibly important. The safety of those schools. Because they use them as shelters, and the shelters them never hold up. So the infrastructure of the schools them need to be bolstered for hurricane resistance. And they need to be bolstered now before not talk about not send people back to school. You see, it is the process, you know. You can't reach an end before you start. You understand what I'm saying? You can't start in the middle of the process. There's a process. And JLP want to start near the finishing line. when them never start from the start to get what them need to go to the finishing line to be efficient and safe. Them a work back way, ladies and gentlemen. Them a start from the finishing line and I go back to the starting point. Because when they go to almost the finishing point, I would say to yourself, but you not have this. That's like you heading into the gates of heaven and you never repent. Them are going to turn you back. How you going to enter the gates of heaven if you don't repent? Them are going to turn you back. And you only a backward government. You feel me I deal with? I want to touch upon this, you know. How much time you have? How am I there? I want to touch upon Dr. Dawes, you know. Situation I just said. Very
The possibility of we paying for them in lives if we don't do the things that we are supposed to.
It is there. I know there was generator was rented during the time until power was restored only recently. But as you know, there are times when the GPS will go down, and as such, it is important that we start the process of.
We can't cover everything right now. We have to come back.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions?
There's a lot to unpack from this
Thank you so much. I want to
conference.
Online.
Trust me.
Online. Yes, I'm online. This is Colin Bell, Portland Spice TV. I have about 3 questions.
Okay.
Dr. Dawes, you spoke about all these posts of the breakout and the possibility of we paying for them in lives if we don't do the things that we are supposed to do. Could you elaborate a little bit more on some of the things that we can do to prevent any more breakout, especially cholera? Also, we want to find out from Dr. Campbell. We saw you put in a water station somewhere in your constituency. The question is, how many of these water stations have been placed in the communities that water is unsafe to use? And is there a plan to make sure that some of these water stations are placed in other communities?
All right.
I'll leave it there. Thanks.
Okay. So let's look at what we're faced with on the ground right now. Leptospirosis. This commonly is simply attributed to rats, but it can affect dogs, cattle, cows and goats. And what happens in many instances is that the rats get into the houses. Now, when you have a sugar belt like Westmoreland, where you'll have cane piece rats, and everywhere in Jamaica where you have garbage piled up, you will have rats around. They get infected. Humans are no longer in houses that are protected from the elements. They're mingling with these vectors. You're going to get any disease, and because leptospirosis is what is brought into the households by the rats and the cattle that are infected, dogs, that is what you're going to get here. In other countries, it'll be bubonic plague. We're not going to say that in Jamaica, hopefully not. You spoke of, so it's really a matter of trying to, as I mentioned, a multifactorial approach where you get proper garbage disposal, clean up the areas, and importantly, get the people out of the areas where they are exposed directly to animals that are carrying these diseases. And it may mean that you give them proper housing, and if not, you evacuate them. The other illnesses are waterborne illnesses. You mentioned cholera, but far more frequent in our population is just simply dysentery, diarrhea. You can have really bad diarrhea from contaminated water. And water is contaminated. The storm water has gone into the underground aquifers. People are drinking from rivers and streams, so they're going to get gastroenteritis. Now, what was very maliciously twisted when I spoke about cholera the last time is that it can be imported. And as long as you have people living in the conditions where they're exposed to contaminated water, consuming contaminated water, any disease that is not endemic or native to Jamaica can make it here because we have people coming in and out. The question they ask, we have how many million tourists per year? The millions of tourists coming in per year are not going to interact with people living under tarpaulins and drinking contaminated water. So we have to be mindful that our minds are not trapped into thinking a particular way by those whose sole objective is to play political football. So we have to be mindful of all of the conditions that come here. Malaria is another one. As I mentioned, in Cuba, you have chickpea and Zika as well as dengue. And there's another one that they have. To be honest, I don't even know the name of that one. I need to do some reading on it. But it's another arbovirus similar to chickpea and dengue, transmitted by the same mosquito that we have here in Jamaica, the Aedes aegypti mosquito. So we have a lot of things to look out for, and it is really the basic principles of public health: primary prevention, early detection through testing, mass testing, and treatment in the early stages when you have a better outcome that we have to really focus on right now. And that is what is going to leave us saving lives.
Dr. Das, before you go, do you think it would assist if the government, you used the word a while ago, but evacuate people who are most vulnerable, the elderly, young babies, mothers with young babies who are living in these conditions? And would an evacuation like that also assist in preventing more outbreaks?
Yes, and yes. Unfortunately, we are doing reverse evacuation where we're pushing people out of shelters to go back to the conditions that I spoke about. And in no century has anyone faced with an outbreak put people into harm's way if they say that they are a civilized society. We have to do better. We have to do better.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it there, sir. But I want you guys to understand that the People's National Party exercised a high level of restraint. They could really go off. This is disgraceful, you know? They could have really thrown the government and the entire country under the bus. No. Who imported rats? No, man. We're talking about cholera. You understand? People moving from one place to the next, or even rodents, I mean, whatever. That's what I'm talking about. The movement, you know. But Dr. Daz is thinking extremely comprehensively at the way he's looking at this. But in the next video I do, the live I do, I might do it later on tonight, like maybe 12 or so. I'm going to cover Miss Perkis, full extensively, Miss Perkis, Zulika Jess, Dr. Alfred Dawes, and also, I think, who else after that? Zulika Jess, Miss Perkins, Dr. Alfred Dawes, yeah? And some parts of Mark Bolin's speech, yeah? I want to thank Dr. Nathan Campbell, Dwayne Vaz, Ian Hills. I want to thank those three, but I'm going to, and also Mark Golding. I did piece of Mark Golding too. But, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all so much for checking me out. I just think the things that we're witnessing from the Jamaica Labour Party and their government from the top go straight down is just pure evil, and it's just wicked. You understand? The people of Jamaica do not deserve this, and they should recognize that they don't, and they should shun this evil that is the Jamaica Labour Party. I'm very, very serious about that. They have to shun the evil. If they embrace the evil, more pain, struggle, and calamity reach you, then you have nobody to blame but yourself. Because God has been showing us all the signs that we need. That these people really don't care about us. They don't. We'll have a blessed evening or a blessed night, alright? Wherever you are, a blessed morning. Big up everybody in the UK. Big up everybody in America, Canada. Wherever you are, Africa, anywhere. Wherever you are, salute to you. TikTok, YouTube, bless upon yourself. And that's my time. All right. Enigla, big up.